Well. What do we have here? Welcome back, everyone. So this was somebody sent this to me, and I found this on Twitter. I found 2 different Twitter sites that are like this. This is really hilarious to me. This is like some church-going person, some kind of theist that actually studied Darwinian science and thought, aha, we are right. The future is procreation. Don't abort people. This is absolutely hilarious to me, this entire site. Now, I have to say this, I by no means endorse anyone going and harassing these people on Twitter. I made a comment about them. I didn't at them. I just made it about them in response to some of this really weird shit. I mean, really weird. Okay, so this is bionatalism. Nature versus... And apparently they communicate only through memes. They don't actually have a post that I have ran into thus far. It's just meme. Memes everywhere. There's no shortage of memes. Hey, Ben Shapiro, I think I found a stock for you of memes that you'll never grow tired of. You and your family value stuff. I'm just saying. Okay, so this is hilarious to me. Mature versus infantile. Mature. Evolutionary success. Get it? Because they reproduced. So, evolution. Oh, but what you're not hearing about evolution is overpopulation. We're not going to address that and how that can fuck up an entire ecosystem. Especially human beings. When human beings overpopulate, it doesn't just affect the human species. It affects all the species all across the whole fucking world. But, never mind. Fuck that. Infantile. I can barely take care of myself. Well, I wouldn't call that infantile. I call that immature and unaccepting of one's responsibilities to take care of themselves. So I'd call that irresponsible, but I wouldn't say that's infantile. But sure, I guess we can make that claim. Evolutionary failure. Not everybody wants to fucking reproduce, and sometimes that's a fucking good idea. And pretty much, you gotta have a release valve to make sure overpopulation doesn't occur. Human beings have pretty much wiped out any kind of threat to our well-being. God damn it, stop. Oh my god. So, now where was I before I was so rudely interrupted? Fertility equals humanity. Be a winner, reproduce. Oh my god, if you like money, you're a horrible person because you're child-free. Not everyone who likes money is child-free. I don't know where you get this idea from. That's absolutely ridiculous. Having kids is not worth the sacrifice. Your time, freedom, independence, sleep, money, to steep a price to pay. I don't know what system of currency that's supposed to be. Child-free and proud. Oh, they make it sound like you're such a horrible person. You're so selfish because you want time and freedom and independence and sleep. Actually, I like their argument. Their argument for not having children actually sounds really awesome. Happy Child Free by Choice Day for those that were born just wanting to live for themselves. Oh, how horrible for you to do that, to live for yourself. Why isn't it that they're not considered to be. I mean, you could essentially consider these people to be like selfless, like they're not having kids because they're thinking about the overpopulation, and so they're contributing their part by not spreading their genes, even though they probably should because they've probably got pretty good genetics. So, I mean, that's pretty selfless, if you ask me. But, I mean, like, really, honestly, this is a good argument to not have kids. Like, that sounds awesome. You're not making a good argument to have a kid. No sleep, no money, no freedom, no independence. And it's a thankless job. Oh, but you passed your fucking genetics on, and so we're not going to go extinct. We got 8 billion people in the world. We're not going extinct. And you're not going to, where is this coming from? This whole concept of, oh my God, we're not procreating. People have sex. People procreate by accident. So shut the fuck up, successful woman. A successful woman is a woman who has succeeded to extend the family lines of her ancestors. Oh my God. Do you like to party and do drugs? Fuck you, you're selfish, have a child. Be important, create a child. In order to be important, you have to create a child, apparently. The price of narcissism is an evolutionary failure. No, it's not. It's kind of part of this is part of a Darwinian theory. It's within an animal's best interest to be narcissistic, isn't it? But it's also in their best interest to preserve their own. Jesus, like. You didn't. You read the Bible and you love the Bible, and then you cherry picked Darwinian science so you could bolster your fucking bullshit. Oh, and they really hate MGTOWs too. So if you're a MGTOW, they're pretty much sending a giant middle finger to you, like fuck you, MGTOWs, going your own way because women have become toxic towards you. My family waiting on me to have kids. Yeah, it's never gonna fucking happen. A condom against humanity? What? We're condoning. We're condoning unsafe sex. Fuck STDs. You need to procreate. Have more fucking kids. 8 billion. We're trying for 23 billion. Oh, wait. Yeah, 23 trillion. We're going to trillion. Fuck that. We're going to trillions. No children equals no future. See, where is it that these people are getting this in their fucking heads, that there's no future? Okay, like, people are going to have kids. There's not this huge... Only in the right-wing field do I see anyone that is freaking out that people aren't procreating. Actually, of one generation without procreating, you'd still have a lot of fucking people. Like, it might even, like, it would lower the notch down to almost 8 billion, but not quite there. Just one generation of not having sex or not having kids, which you can't expect that. I don't know why you think that this is a reasonable stance. Why you think that there's this huge problem of people not procreating. Like, you can't stop people from procreating. It's impossible. It is absolutely fucking impossible. When you exclude parenthood from your life, you transform your life into a cemetery waiting for your corpse. Well, you do that even if you have a child. I'm just saying. And what you do what happens when you die is you put that child through immense turmoil and melancholy because losing someone you love really sucks. That's just kind of part of life. You die. Moral people. If you don't have a fucking kid, you're immoral. You're an immoral shit if you don't have a kid, apparently. pride of humanity, are humans who risk their lives and sacrifice their time, wealth, and pleasure to replenish humanity. Yeah, because again, we need to go for fucking 8 trillion people in the fucking world to the point where every other animal species dies and we have exalted all resources and everybody dies anyway. Oh, look, nihilist. That's a nihilist perspective, but you know what? It's fucking reality. If you overpopulate the world, everyone will die. Hedonists. Oh my gosh, look at the self-pleasure. I love sex. I love gluttony, sex, drugs, and cigarettes. Oh, yes. Fuck you. I'm sorry, you can do these things and still procreate. I don't know if you know this action right here, this guy pounding this woman right here, this here is a result of how a lot of accidental pregnancies happen. So, I mean, just saying, that's the thing. This is what you're asking for will eventually turn into this. And then there will be too many babies, and that's where you get this, condoms, and it's also where you get abortions. And people become like this, and that's where you get this, and this, and this. It's called escapism. Immoral cultures disappear and get replaced by moral cultures that encourage people to fulfill their moral obligations, to raise kids as the next generation of their families and societies. Oh my God. People are still reproducing. Obviously. You have a picture of it right here. This is a procreation, or at least an attempt to. If you don't know what to do with your life, have a fucking kid. That's responsible. No, it's not. That's completely fucking irresponsible. I don't know what to do with my life. I'm completely depressed. I'm fucking suicidal. And I'm completely like a ratchet mess full of drugs and can't get control of my life. Maybe I should have a fucking kid. No. No, that is irresponsible. That is called irresponsible parenthood. Oh my God. This is a mess. This fucking... I don't know. It's just fucking hilarious to me. Then there's this one. A different one. Same kind of idea. That's that guy that was mad that his parents created him, and he was like, it's not my fault. I didn't choose to be born. Ugh. I should be able to commit suicide. Ugh. Ugh. That's your opinion. I'll put it that way. An ungrateful man is like a hog under a tree eating acorns, but never looking up to see where they come from. That doesn't make any sense. There was one in here that I thought was just... I don't have kids. I have fun. I'm looking for the one that I really responded to. Change isn't progress. Oh, we want to go back to the 1950s, do we? I think I did a video on that. That's right, I did. 1950s weren't all that fucking great. That is subjective. Okay, to these people, that is the life. To these people, that is the life. That is what you call subjectivity. There is no objective truth to how you perceive life being enjoyment and fulfilling. If having enjoyment and having a fulfilling life means that you create a family, then that is your opinion. If going out and having fun and partying and doing drugs and listening to music and having promiscuous sex is your way of life fulfillment, That is your opinion, and there's nothing wrong with either of these, but to sit there and say that you have the moral high ground because you chose this one to have a family, as opposed to this of a life of partying, to proclaim moral objectivity and a moral high ground over anyone else makes you kind of fascistic. Just saying, like, the way that you want to rule your life, it doesn't make not everyone is happy in this situation. A lot of people are fucking miserable. You're basically saying we should point a gun to their heads and make them do this and not this? Fuck this. That's so stupid. Rejected by your family, have a kid. They're against neo-feminists too, by the way. Have a value to your family. Real men, real man, your descendants. This is really funny shit. This is just hilarious to me. This is the one that I respond to. Am I a horrible person? To answer this question, ask yourself, am I fulfilling my moral obligations to my family and society? There is no such thing as a moral obligation. This is subjective. What we consider to be moral and immoral is man-made. What goes, like anything that is possible in nature, anything that can happen will happen. There's nothing in nature preventing you from murdering. There's nothing in nature keeping you from thievery. These are man-made constructs that we derived from our ability to empathize and sympathize with others. I'm not saying they're inappropriate, but I'm just saying at some point along the lines of morality, you have to realize that this is your take on what a horrible person is, and not everyone has the same opinion. I think most people agree, the majority of the world agree, that if you are a murderer, a rapist, or a child molester, then you are a horrible person. I think it's safe to say that the majority of the world, a huge majority of the world, would agree with that. But again, that is opinion that we have formulated as a world platoon by our ability to empathize and sympathize. So, moral obligations, that is not an actual thing. There is no such thing as a moral obligation. That is something that is man-made. Do I put interests of my family and my society above my pleasure? Well, I hate to tell you, but everybody thinks about their own survival first. Everybody. Everyone. That's human nature. Human nature, you will put yourself before pretty much everything else. Do I help my parents? This is irrelevant. It doesn't matter. I don't think, like, what if your parents are horrible people? I did a video where I covered how abuse is a sign of people seeing apparitions. I did a video about that. You're more likely to see apparitions and be receptive to thinking that you see ghosts and supernatural shit if you've been abused. One of the people that they interviewed were these two sisters that were raised by serial killers. Are they supposed to help their fucking parents murder people? I don't see how that helps fucking... That's the other thing I don't understand about these people. It's not okay to kill something that is not cognitively aware of its own existence. Although that's not how I would necessarily define life. Life, being defined in terms of abortion, is defined by when the central nervous system is developed, which is after the first trimester, entering into the second trimester. That is when we do not abort children unless it is an emergency. If it will kill the female, or the baby is going to be born brain dead. That is an interesting question, too, a third trimester abortion on a brain dead child. Okay, so if it has a central nervous system, that means that it can interpret pain, even though it is not cognitively aware, it can still interpret pain. But I think it's funny that you guys are against killing something that is not cognitively aware of its own existence, but something that is cognitively aware of its own existence. You know, the whole I think, ergo I am. That's okay. Where to me, it's quite the opposite. I know I'm alive. Most things that know that they're alive don't want to die. It's kind of installed in you naturally, like it's a natural urge to try to survive. A person would absolutely forfeit a child for their own survival because, guess what? They can make more. They can try again. Do I show respect to my relatives and my ancestors? Again, this is completely irrelevant. This doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. That has no relevance whatsoever to whether or not you are a horrible person or not. None. None whatsoever. That is absolutely a ridiculous question to even ask. I mean, that falls nowhere on a moral compass scale whatsoever, unless you are extremely authoritative and strict and a zealot. I mean, just completely overzealous about your ancestry. You have to fucking know about your ancestry! You have to! Okay, so irrelevant, not important, nobody cares. Do I help my family to extend the family lines of its ancestors? If you don't procreate, then you must be a horrible person. See, I feel like all of this is nonsense, and I feel like this is the juxtaposition of this stance is right here, is that if you do not procreate, then you are a horrible person. If answers to these questions are yes, you are not a horrible person. You are a good moral person. I just think that this shit is just hilarious. Family parasites. Okay, what if you don't consume family resources and you're independent? Does that still make you a family parasite? Like, what a horrible way to view your own fucking child that doesn't procreate. Seriously, fuck. My family didn't pay for my fucking college. I had to do that by myself. I had to do that for myself. My dad said, "No, fuck you. You have to learn responsibility and how to take care of yourself. Do things yourself and not rely on other people. You know, don't be a parasite." This is not a sign of failed parents. I mean, have you seen the interview with Jeffrey Dahmer's parents? They're pretty normal fucking people. The kids who did the Columbine shooting came from middle class fucking suburbia. I mean, you wouldn't consider them to be like bad parents. So this comes from a rebellious attitude because guess what? Another point I made about conformity is it causes rebellion. Oopsie daisies. So I think you're probably the failed parent and you just don't realize. Successful parents. No, this is just funny to me. Just funny. Oh my god, I'm betrayed. My children didn't make me a grandparent. Oh my god. It takes a real man to make a child. Dead from inside. I actually like this picture. I kind of want to save. I'm gonna save this picture. I'm gonna save it to catastrophe. I like the picture. I don't like the caption next to it. I really like this. I like the veil and the black. I like that, and I like the whole dead from inside, and then this. When your family line dies and your whole life becomes wasted. I like this picture, not for the reasons they do. I like it because it's nihilistic and dark. Oh my god, this side is just so funny. Well, I hope you had fun going through the Jesus freaks who actually happened to read Charles Darwin's shit. So it's good and funny. It's good and funny. Please do not harass these people. Don't do it. It isn't worth it. It isn't worth it. Don't harass them. Don't. If you do, you do so of your own fruition, not on my behalf. I will not condone it. I really will not. So, let me know anything in the comment section below. Like, share, subscribe, hit the bell button on any channel you're subscribed to. And with that, out.